media platforms. Our hashtag is Weekend Prime. But now to stories making headlines. Tonight, elected leaders, cane farmers and other sugar stakeholders have agreed on a raft of issues, including the return of outgrower companies and allowing county governments to have a stake in the management of sugar as ways to revive the ailing sector. At the end of a two-day conference in Kakamega, participants also agreed to involve cane farmers in key decision-making pertaining to the sector. And as Alan Ochanda reports, a section of farmers have reservations about practice of zoning.
The climax of the two-day sugar conference in Kakamega has witnessed 12 key resolutions by the sugar-growing region, which, if implemented, will restore the lost glory for cane farmers. The resolutions include involving farmers in key decisions and policy formulation, restoring farmers' outgrower companies and cooperatives, auditing debts owed to farmers by cane millers, zoning of cane in clustered regions, instituting strict guidelines on harvesting and transportation of cane so as to avoid post-harvest losses. Also on the resolutions list is to adopt robust cane development methods, integrating ICT across the value chain, and introduction and operationalization of the sugar development levy.
As the governors of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, on your behalf, look forward to swift implementation of the recommendations from this conference for the revival of the sugar sector. And in this, we are supported by all our elected representatives.
In the panel discussion, it was highlighted that farmers' plight isn't a yesterday problem, but a systemic one that needs concerted, deliberate efforts to return the train on the rail.
Kulikuwa na hizi vitu zinaitwa outgrower companies. Madeni, ilikuwa tu madeni nyumba za mafisi. Tupatie wakulima nafasi ya kulima miwa, na hiyo miwa wakilima iwe miwa yao, na saa ya kuuza wawe na uhuru wa kuuzia yoyote ambaye anawapatia bei mzuri.
Let us invest in the farmer. Let us fund the research institutions. Let us ring fence revenues collected from sugarcane farming to go back to the farmer. And then finally, let us have a clear roles for all the stakeholders.
Calls to have the Agricultural Food Authority disbanded further amplified as farmers claim it is eroding their sweat. The authority last month suspended cane crushing due to cane shortage, but questions linger how during such times some sugar brands still dot shelves.
With regard to the private sector operators, the private sector sugar factories are profitable. Why is that so? We are aware that most of them are importing sugar cheaply and repackaging and selling them as their own. Very little crushing is going on in these factories, and this is an issue that cannot be swept under the carpet as they distort the market forces.
Navajono Member of Parliament Emmanuel Wangu has already drafted a bill on sugar, and it will be going through its third reading stage Thursday next week, which has been tipped to give impetus to the sugar sector revival. Legislators from the cane growing zones vowing to ensure it sails through. A section of farmers have, however, expressed their reservations with the practice of zoning, terming it as enslavement of farmers.
You are saying that you want to put farmers in a given cluster. When the millers produce this, they sell the finished product all over the country. So why do we have double standards?
Sisi kama wakulima tumekataa mambo ya zoning, tunataka kuwa na free market economy. Unless kama serikali wanataka kuzone farmers, let even the miller be zoned. Kwa sababu kama kutakuwa na jurisdiction area, pia millers also they are produced within that jurisdiction area.
As the sugar conference comes to an end, several resolutions have been arrived at. Among them, to embrace science, involve farmers in every key decisions, and ensure they empower counties as agriculture is devolved. All this for the benefit of the farmer. Alan Ochanda, KTN News.
Thank you, Alan, for that report.